Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This book review is for Do You Take This Man by Denise Williams. Now, it's a romantic comedy, and I'm trying to think that the best trope that would fit this would be enemies to lovers. Our couple in this book, RJ and Lear, had never met, but as soon as they met, opposites, even though they have some very similar personality traits, they rubbed each other the wrong way. Now, who are RJ and Lear? Well, RJ is a divorce attorney, and she ends up playing the role, getting certified as an officiant to a small wedding, but it goes viral. And now all of a sudden, she's taking client after client after client officiating at various weddings. Sorry, my cat jumped up here. I'm just moving things. Now, the funny thing about her is she is a divorce attorney and usually has very high-end clients and sees the worst of the worst when it comes to people who are madly in love that said I do, and then they end up in her office at her law firm fighting tooth and nail for a divorce. So, for her to be a wedding officiant is kind of ironic. Now, when I said that she has some similarities with Lear, and I'll tell you about Lear in a moment, they are both very strong personalities. Type A personalities, in fact. Now, who is Lear? Well, Lear is a wedding planner, which I don't know if I have seen or heard of many heterosexual wedding planners in a book. In fact, I'm sure I haven't. Now, his cousin and her wife are the wedding planners, but they have a situation going on, and Lear steps in. In fact, Lear will do anything for his cousin, including becoming the best wedding planner there is. Now, he's a very organized man because he was a football event planner for quite some time. So he's schedules and lists and organization beyond organization. So, can he take couples, including bridezillas and terrible mothers of the bride, and all of a sudden create beautiful weddings? So, now RJ, our officiant, and Lear, our wedding planner, are now working together. In fact, working together over the course of multiple weddings. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to tell you who makes the first move, but how can I put this? They may hate each other by principle, but they're very drawn to each other physically. And every time they get together to perform the next wedding or to arrange, for her to officiate and deal with the needs of the couples and all that, then they get together. They cannot fight their attraction to each other. Now, they find every opportunity in every location to prove that this attraction to each other is something they can't resist. But they don't like each other. So it's just physical. And not only that, is they are both determined not to let emotion play into this physical attraction. And if they are that determined, then you figure there's got to be some kind of baggage. RJ has baggage and Lear has baggage. They both have baggage going into this hot and heavy thing that's going on between them. They have baggage. And with that baggage, they absolutely will become nothing more than not even friends with benefits, because they're not friends, just two people that are getting together. Now, when we talk about their baggage, and this is true in just about any romance, romantic comedy, even historical romance for that matter, is past relationships often play into current and future relationships. And when you consider that, I kind of want to say Lear is a favorite, but then RJ is a favorite. But then I really like Lear, but then I really like RJ. And I have a hard time distinguishing who I prefer more in this book, because as they are navigating this territory between them, you see from conversations with the people that are close to them, the things that led them to being absolutely determined not to have any emotion in the picture. Okay? And then the fact that RJ is a divorce attorney that sees the worst of the worst, she knows that love is not in the cards for her. So that is, do you take this man? And Denise Williams has also given us a multicultural romance, because she's African American and he's Caucasian. So there's an extra layer of diversity in this book beyond the fact that it's the enemies to lovers trope, or enemies with benefits. Not friends with benefits, but enemies with benefits. And one thing I loved about this book is I loved how, even though they did not like each other as far as, human nature, liking, being kind to one another and so forth, they took their responsibilities for officiating and planning these weddings quite seriously. That was especially interesting for me to see, because RJ knows that 75% of weddings end up in divorce. So the very people that she's officiating over could end up in her office 3 years, 5 years, 7 years down the line. But yet she still put her best foot forward to give them the wedding that they wanted. So that is our book. And one thing that I can say, if I were to wrap it up, Do You Take This Man is full of angst. Angst is the best single word I can use to describe this book. So that is Denise Williams, Do You Take This Man? And it's a Berkeley publication that I got from NetGalley, and you can get it at your Kindle store for $10.99, or I'm sure you can get it at Audible or anywhere else that you want to get books. I would even check your library out, because you never know if your library might have a copy. I read this as an e-arc, but I would bet that it would be excellent as an Audible arc, because of the angst, because of the level of what I saw, emotion, not emotion in the relationship that was forming and growing, but the emotion that kept that relationship from advancing and growing. So angst, that's going to be my word of the day. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.